Welcome to the Waldorf Gridiron Club Podcast, your home for all things football at Waldorf University, the best small college football experience in America. Hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson, from the secret bunker beneath Bullsdorf Field.
All right, welcome to this episode of the Waldorf Gridiron Club Podcast. Well, folks, if you listened last week, you'll realize that we finally worked out the difference between episode and Edition. Yeah, because edition is, no, that's not going to work.
It's an episode.
It's an episode.
Right.
And, folks, we're going to change things up a bit. Today, we're recording this a little bit earlier in the day, and our Warriors are out in the practice field right now, even in the bye week, and we're getting better. And so we're not, it's just going to be Troy and I. And so you guys can be lucky. We can say whatever we want. We don't have to worry about those young ears.
Yeah, right, because we're always minding our P's and Q's when the players come in. Lord knows they haven't heard
100% true.
Anything.
100% true. So, Troy, we're coming off the Dickinson State game this last Saturday.
Blue Hawks.
The Blue Hawks from Dickinson, North Dakota, or as we like to say, Eastern Montana.
Yes.
Way up there. And, you know, I got to be honest with you. We had, for those of you that don't know, at halftime, there was a lightning delay. So
boy, was there
a little more than 3.5 hours and 4.5 inches to 6 inches of rain. I guess we didn't have a rain gauge out there.
Yeah, we had 6 inches at my place, and so I'm assuming it was in that range.
And it stayed dry down here in the bunker.
Yeah,
which I was a little surprised about.
A little waterproofing there.
Yeah. Well, you know, you get a little bit.
Sump pump didn't quit running.
No, it didn't. She was in good shape. So yeah, we unfortunately dropped a game to Dickinson, and there was some good that came of this, guys. We can't look at it as, it was a loss. 41-14 was the final score.
Yep.
We went at half down 27-0. They got their 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals. We had a hard time stopping.
Yeah.
But the offense was moving the ball in the first half, you know, a few mistakes here and there. And again, you know, we're not throwing stones at anybody. Our kids played hard. And what I will say, Troy, is you didn't have the luxury of going in the locker room at halftime like I did. I don't know about luxury. They stink.
Yeah.
Halftime. But right away, there wasn't any sad sacking. There wasn't anybody, you're not doing this or you're not doing that. My little cave is over on the offensive side. And so I was venturing over, and we already had the receivers and the offensive line and a couple of our backs and our quarterbacks sitting around talking like, hey, did you guys see this? Oh yeah, I saw that. And so there was nothing negative about it. They were getting ready to go out there in the second half and do what they needed to do to try to win this football game.
Right.
So it was all positive. You know, in years past, I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And sometimes the bad and the ugly, that can make things pretty tough at halftime. So, it wasn't great, but at the same time, there was some good that came of it. So,
yeah, I mean, it was. It's difficult to lose, and you never know how the team is going to react. That's good news to hear that they were in the locker room at the halftime and had a hard hat mentality, so to speak, and getting after it and making corrections. What was it like when? How soon did they realize that this is probably going to get delayed? Was it as they went in, or was it midway? Or it went.
No, they were lining up to go back out in the field, and Jake Kent, who's he's our head athletic trainer, and Jake does a phenomenal job. Him and his staff do so good for our program, and I can't say enough good things about Jake. But he's the one that calls the lightning. You know, so because that's one of his responsibilities. So boom, lightning delay. So the first time there's a strike, 30 minutes. And then it's got to be at least, it has to be more than 10 miles away after that 30 minutes expires to be able to go out and resume the clock. Well, 3.5 hours later, and at 6:20 or so is when we kicked off the second half.
Yeah.
Now, I got to be honest, felt a little bit bad for the Blue Hawks. Not really, but kind of, because they have a 10.5-hour bus ride.
Sure.
So let's say we got over at about, 7:15-ish?
Yeah, I mean, it was, in that range.
Yeah, a lot of times after a game, even the opposing team, they and their fans will be out in the field talking for a little bit. By the time we got things wrapped up, you saw the last kid heading back for the locker room because I'm sure the coach told them, pack your stuff, boys. you can shower when you get home.
Mm-hmm.
We got a long drive in front of us, and it's pretty up there this time of year.
Yeah.
In the pitch black middle of the
right.
night. So yeah, they probably got back about 6 o'clock in the morning, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's a haul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's one of the benefits of leaving the North Star, to be honest, is that our drive times are going to drop significantly in most cases. So, within a few hours of almost all of our conference members. And
absolutely.
So that's a good thing. And, they earned that win, and so that was the consequence that came with the win. They got the W, so they got the ride home, and we took the loss. And it's something that you hope that they, I'm certain what they'll learn, and they you get over it, you move on, flush it, and move on to the next thing. And of course, they're in their bye week practice schedule. Coaches are also doing some recruiting too at this time, get some opportunity to go travel to schools and that type of thing. So it's a useful time. It's probably good that there's a break. Dickinson was coming in off of a bye week, break.
Of course they were, yeah.
Yeah, so they were fresh, and so that's. Did we come out of it? How did we come out of it on injuries? Are we?
I think we're in pretty good
healthy?
shape. We for those of you that are in the second half, one of our number twos in the defensive backfield, Austin New, he went down with a knee. Obviously we don't have any prognosis because I've only been in the locker room once since Saturday, and it looks like he might be out for an extended amount of time. And Austin is such a great kid. Talking about him. You have a kid that has an injury that, an interior knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
I was right there when they were examining it, and it was gross.
Yeah.
But Austin after halftime, so he had 4 hours to recover. He's out there on the sideline cheering his teammates on with his crutches. And I said, Austin, how you feeling, man? He's like, doesn't hurt. He goes, they told me I had to use these crutches, but I think I'm okay. And well, that's good. I'm glad you're not feeling any pain.
Yeah.
And I said, but man, I'm really sorry that happened. And Austin, this is the kind of kid that he is. He comes in, he goes, you know what? That's the risk that you take doing something that you love. He goes, I do a lot of snowmobiling. I do a lot of different stuff that could happen anytime.
That's right.
He goes, it happened when I was doing something that I love. Yeah. And that's just part of it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And what a great attitude. It stinks that he's may be out for the season. I don't know. Again, I'm a doctor.
See. Mm-hmm.
I hope not. I hope there's something like, oh no, it's just rub some butter on it, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, right,
yeah,
it does. Yeah, that or Windex.
Yeah,
if you've ever watched Big Fat Greek Wedding?
I have. Yeah, Windex cures everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the reality is that Austin's just he's a great kid.
Yeah,
and he'll still be around the program. I mean, he's still part of the team. So that was really encouraging to see. A kid that suffers a devastating injury like that and just comes back. His mom's a physical therapist.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yep. And so, she was trucking right down the track, and can I, you get over here next to your son.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the difference between small college football and big college football. The mom can't come out of the stand and walk down the field and be with their student athlete in a lot of places, unless it's really bad. And I always feel terrible because, we put those kids on the training table so they can examine them stuff. And then, Jake and Joe, they got to go back to work. There's still stuff going on. They got to be there to respond. And so I tried to be with him as long as I could. But he was upset. So I gave him some time, and it was good. What a great kid. Austin New, folks, number 14.
Yes. Well, so now while you were enjoying the privilege of being in the inside during
it was lovely.
The halftime, I got the privilege of hanging out with some of our fans and parents in the tailgate area.
Best fans in the land, Troy.
Best fans in the land. I tell you, they are. Well, listen, I mean, things shut down across the board. So about 4 minutes from the end of the half, we did get the notification that it's 7 miles away. Well, the lightning was 7 miles away, and so then I cleared the stands, and we got people moved out of the stands and said that we are under a lightning delay and until further notice.
Amen.
And that further notice went on for, as we mentioned, almost 4 hours. So
it
was quite a long deal, but it was so then at that point you're waiting, and even after it's cleared, you still have a little bit of time for warm up, and so fans are taken back to their vehicles, and it really hasn't started raining yet. I mean, but it did. I mean, within 20 minutes of clearing the stands, it was raining, and the wind started coming in, and we were watching, and I went out to the tailgate area and was kind of hanging out. That's where my truck was and everything. So I was just kind of waiting like everybody. People did start to leave a little bit, but there were some diehards there that were really sticking it out, and they did stick it out the whole time. And so I gotta give a big shout out to Jesse Odegaard and Nate Hansen. These guys, I mean, the Odegaard, the Hansen, I mean, it was awesome. It was great to I probably even blew that just because I was having a great time out there. I was trying to write names down and remember stuff. But anyway, so we had a good time. As one of my favorite comedians says, we're having a good time, and they're just a family, and there to support and loving Waldorf and loving the adventure of it all. And then very impressed with the field facilities. We take that much rain, and the track is, looks like it's flooding. It's just a lot of rain at one time, and then the field and everything like that. And they're like, well, how are they going to play on this field? And I'm like, this field, we'll take 7-8 inches an hour. Watch, it'll drain. And in the heaviest part of the rain, when it's starting to pull up out on the field, then it starts like slowly, I mean, not even slowly, but just like magically disappearing across the field. And it's just like there's this green patch in this, it looks like it's like a little green island in water. So that's pretty cool. So the facilities worked out. I think it was a good test for, so those are, parents of freshmen, and have the opportunity to see what's going on, and just a very good experience overall. Very wet. I didn't wreck my shoes, but they were all leather, so they're definitely a different color now. And
turned your sneakers to soakers.
They were.
Yeah, that happens. I hate that.
Did some creative things with tents, and they had a little heater, heating unit out there, a little LP. I don't know,
like a NIPCO heater?
A little fire pit.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It's pretty neat.
Ambiance, if nothing
else. It was
else.
ambiance, yeah. So it was a great time. Good time. And then we started back up, like you said, and went back out in the second half, and that was a little different story. We did do some business there, but it wasn't enough to, get the win.
No, and that, again, they came out right away. That first possession after we resumed, we went down and scored. And that was just a tough, rugged football team out there, and they had it in their head, we're going to go out and score. They wanted to do it 4 times in a row and be 28-27. Obviously that didn't happen. Dickinson State, we may not love them, but the reality is that they're a very well disciplined great program, good coaching staff, everything. You can't say anything really bad about it.
We knew that going in, that they were going to be a disciplined unit, and that you can't make mistakes. And we really didn't make, as far as penalties go, of course, I wondered about that. We talked about we did have penalties, but the previous week, we just achieved really an impressive number, like 170 yards
of penalties last.
That was impressive.
The week before.
That didn't happen this time. It can't, and still made some mistakes, but overall, that's a good improvement. You can't do that against Dickinson. But then I wondered, well, maybe those things were happening out there, but even the officiating crew was just like, listen, it's getting late.
We're not getting paid by the hour here. We're getting paid by the game. All right, let's get this done. As long as nobody gets too hurt, it'll be fine. No, again, unfortunate loss. We're 3-2. We're in sole possession of third place in the North Star, so we're right in the middle because you got Valley, and Valley City escaped Mayville on.
Is that right?
Yeah, we watched that game. That was so. Now you got to wonder what did we do for 3.5 hours?
I thought you watched like The Godfather. You had the time.
Well, we could have. I don't know if the kids really would have enjoyed that as much. So imagine, if you will, Jonestown.
Yeah.
Because some of the guys decided that they'd go find a place soft, and there was some people that had a good 2 hours of sleep.
I got a little nap in.
Oh yeah, there was people sleeping in the team meeting room. We had a game on there in Coach Chapa's office. Everybody had different games.
Do they just get out of their gear? Then I mean,
some of them, yeah.
I mean, that's a long time to sit around in your gear.
Yeah, well, it's wet from being sweaty and everything else. So a lot of guys would change. They changed right back into some, like some sweatpants or shorts or something, and sweatshirt, whatever they wanted. And some guys literally were geared up the whole time. I think. Roberto Morales, number 33, I think that he wasn't going to take any of his stuff off, because like my stuff's wet and I'm going to get cold, and I don't want to put cold, sweaty pads back on. But I think after a couple hours, he finally saw that might not have been the best thing.
Yeah.
And so at halftime, for those of you that may or may not know this, we always, we give the guys little snacks, just a little bit of quick energy. It's usually like this week we had bananas, and we always have granola bars and squeeze applesauce, just so that they can get some of those simple sugars in their system and kind of re-energize them. We had a lot to begin with. Well, then after about an hour and a half, I went and asked Coach Chapa, these guys are hungry.
Yeah.
So I was just walking around for, 45 minutes. Just first I'd bring around Gatorade, just like, hey, let's get some decent hydration. There's some more sugar in there. And then after a while, our tailgate crew, they brought over some food. Yeah, they got some subs.
Yeah,
and it wasn't too much longer after that they had to go running out in the field. So within probably about 35 minutes of eating, they're back out there, and I can't remember what we were doing, but Christian Giroux came out. And I'm like, hey, I said, you all right? And he goes, man, that sub sitting in my stomach like a rock.
Oh yeah.
Because he hadn't digested it yet.
Yeah.
He's just out there pounding away. And he said, you ever run a full sprint on a full stomach?
Yeah. Thanksgiving every year. Short distances.
Well, yeah. I mean, probably not 60 yards.
Yeah. No.
So yeah, it was, I think most of the coaching staff, if not all the coaching staff, had never been in a lightning delay before. And this was my first time in my 4 seasons with the team that we had to sit and.
It's my first time with the college. I've done it with the high school a few times.
Yep.
And it's not fun. And I always thought that we had a lightning delay when my oldest boy played, and we were in Algona. And back then they were not good, and now they're actually really good. They've done a lot of good things over there with their athletic program, but they weren't then, and they've always had big kids, and I've always thought they were big kids and out of shape, and they were then, and they're not now. So it's a good improvement, unless you're playing them. But I was, in that case, it's the principals that make the decision, and particularly the principal of the school that you're playing.
School, yeah.
So they make that decision, and I was pretty certain that they were really stretching that lightning clear time so that the guys could completely recover. It didn't matter in that case. We beat them. But so I've seen that there. We've had it at a game against Central Springs once in high school, same year actually, same season, and just right at halftime, kind of like this, and everybody kind of went into cleared the stand, went into the high school, and you just kind of hanging around and you're just waiting.
Those games don't start at 1.
No, and I think that was only like an hour.
Still, like puts you home in the middle of the night. Yeah, not fun.
Yeah, this was 3, almost 4 hours, which is crazy. That's but again, what are you going to do? You're talking about a 10-hour trip one way, and these guys aren't coming back. You're not going to play it on a Sunday. We could have, but what would have been the point? And it was still, even though it felt like it was the middle of the night because everything had gotten so dark and cold and wet, it was still, we're still playing at 6:00. Well, we didn't even start our kickoff for community night until 6. So well, it wasn't that late,
and it started kind of getting that dusky feel out there before we got the lights on. And one of the kids said, "Coach, are they going to turn the lights on?" I said, "Do you need a mouthpiece?" He's like, "What?" I said, "Do you need a mouthpiece?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No." I said, "That's my department.
Yeah,
I don't do lights."
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a higher pay.
Yeah. That was your question. I'm sorry, I limited at my decision here. Yeah, can't cut on the lights, folks. Somebody plugged in a potluck, and we're using all the juice.
Yeah, sorry, it's out at the tailgate. We'll have to talk to those guys. Maybe get a crack pot unplugged or something like that there.
Everything weathered the storm pretty well, including the kids. And that's now on, you flush it and don't necessarily forget it, but you move on to the next thing. We'll see Dickinson again. We'll have to go out there to do it. And
November 11th.
We'll see what happens,
Well, I expect good things, and because I anticipate, we have Valley City coming to town in a week, and they're again. I don't think they're the program that they've been the last few years. And we've had their number.
Yeah.
They've got Justice Bice. He's their 9th year running back or whatever he is.
Yeah,
he's
cool
been
name.
around for. He's a great kid too.
Yeah, good name.
I talked to him after the game last year here at home, and I asked him. I said, "You're a senior, right, Justice?" He said, "No, sir, I'm a junior."
Maybe he's just one of those guys that is a legit junior, but he just seems like he's been around forever because
he's so good.
Yeah,
he's so good.
You're about done, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, I'm just a freshman. Come on.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
Might have to. I can't remember the name. Nancy Kerrigan.
Oh yeah, right. I think that's what happened today. As we record this, I had 3 months of jury duty, and and so I was going to be, and I had not had to do anything. You have to call in every week, and there's nothing going on, and the one time there was, I wasn't selected, and actually I was mowing Coach Brown's yard, and I guess I was supposed to be there, but I they didn't know it, and that was an error on their part. So
good.
I lucked out, didn't have to go to jail or anything. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I did turn myself in though. I said, "Hey, listen, I was supposed to be here." It turns out, but I got this text at noon that said, "Be here at 8:15." I can't make time travel happen. So
that would be so cool if you could.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I would be doing in that case, but. Yeah, I didn't have to do that today, and got out of that situation. I don't know where I was even going with that story, but it's
a great story.
Yeah, so that's a terrible story, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
started out with an idea, but went the wrong way.
Been there many times.
Anyway, don't have to worry about it now. I'm all. Oh, that's what it was. You were going to, you were going to Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan, and I think that's what happened to the person that was. I did have to go in today.
You had some ice skaters,
and there was somebody. There might have been. We never met him because somebody had a health problem, and then that was it. So then they were going to have to postpone, and this was our last week. So didn't have to do it.
Dadgum.
I know. I was dressed up and everything, man. I looked like an English teacher. I was going in there like an English professor.
Did you have I
had a brown corduroy jacket on.
With suede?
Doesn't have patches on it.
No suede patches on the elbow?
I never understood why patches were on there in the first place. I think some person, probably some college professor who back in the day when they didn't, and college professors probably still argue that they don't get paid enough like a lot of people in education do, but you'd probably be like, he probably was reading all the time. He's got his hands on his chin, or and then he wore out his elbows by putting his by reading so much.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, and so but he couldn't afford
probably some darn.
So he put a patch on his elbows, and that became fashionable.
Like, ooh, where'd you get the patches?
Yeah, I like the patches.
I had me mom put them on. For me.
Got patches on the elbow.
Yeah,
I can't think of why you would ever wear out elbows.
I don't know. Boredom.
I mean, what physical activity, Andy, could you possibly be doing that would be, wearing out the elbows on a corduroy jacket or whatever, the tweed jacket or whatever these guys are wearing?
That's a great question, and we'll have to look at the history on that, the entomology.
We'll find out the answer for it, but not on this episode. I was going to say edition.
Oh, you almost dropped it. Yeah. I lit it up with the episode right away. I'm pretty proud of myself.
You did a good job.
Thank you. Means a lot.
All right.
So we're going to set Dickinson on the shelf, and that's done.
Yeah.
We're going to see him one more time this year. Now we're on to Valley. We've got that week off. We're going to get a little bit healthy. We're going to get rested, and we can. Our coaches, they're already game planning. That's what they start on Sunday.
Yeah,
and that's a good time.
Well, before we jump into the next topic of discussion, though, I will just give congratulations out to our winners of our cash prize for the ball lice contest, because they were there. Actually, I don't know if they were all there for the second half, but Kathy Williams and Ryan Flickinger were in the second half.
The Flick.
Yep. And then Teresa Erdman and Dave Kingland, local.
Very good.
Dave Kingland, yep, in the first half. So congratulations to those four individuals. And Rick Miller was the winner of the signed football.
Folks, you only got 2 more chances to get yourself it is a official Waldorf game ball.
Yeah.
Signed by all the members of the 2023 Warriors football team. And it is a prized possession. Now, the guys were telling me after our first one that we did, they said, they told me when I took it out of there that I had to guard it with my life because it's going to be worth millions of dollars someday.
Yeah.
With all the stars on there. Mm-hmm. It's hard to argue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in football, but what if they become like amazing, famous people from other things too?
Either way.
The road. Yeah.
Either way, there's nothing but upside to our
That's
team.
Right.
Yeah, these kids are great. And you guys know that.
Somebody's got that football and they're, 20 years down the road, like, I don't even know what I have this for. And then two days later after it goes on the garage sale.
Let the grandkids go out and kick it around in the back. Like, oh, did you know that? Yeah.
Like the NIC basketball championship that we've got here, the basketball, and it's just been deflated and inflated and left out in the sun and just a million different things. And it's still good.
In the rain.
Yeah.
Everything else is done.
Yeah.
It's done. And, even our gear actually survived the rain. I'm going to give a shout out to Coach Gould because we were sitting in Coach Chapa's office watching one of the games. It might have been the Colorado-Oregon game. And I said something about, oh, man, all that gear's out there. And it's a light show at this time.
Yeah.
It's pouring down rain. And Coach Gould was walking out and he goes, yeah, I'll go get it. And, of course, I really thought he was kidding.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Coach G is, dude's a beast. He actually went out in that mess and got everything because a little bit later he comes in. He's like, it's all down in the turf room. Holy crap. So then
I saw him go out they have a golf cart.
Well, it's a Toro.
Yeah.
He went out and grabbed all the stuff. So I pulled a bunch of stuff out and threw it in the dryer and the stuff that I could dry. And so,
well, that's the one. I wondered, how long does it take you? There's no way of knowing that you would have almost 4 hours. So how long would it have taken you to wash everybody's normally in a cycle?
So I go in on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And then obviously we have the clothes, the personal effects, that's on their laundry loops. So there's 2 loads of that. Then there's a load of, the worn jerseys. And then you have to, like the pants, they chose to wear white pants, which, those are the bane of my existence.
Mm-hmm.
And so between blood and other organics and just the face black, they're touching their face and getting it on their pants and stuff like that. So I run it through the washing machine the first time, and then you have to inspect each and every pair. If it's got a little stain on it, you set it off. And then you got to scrub the living hell out of it with borax and Dawn dishwashing soap. So, and then wash them again and inspect them again. And if they look passable, because there's some stains you're just not getting out.
Yeah.
And we do our best.
Yeah.
But I hate white uniforms.
You could have taken everybody's uniforms, thrown them in the washing machine, without giving a good scrubbing and gotten everything back out and dried in 4 hours.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah. I can do.
You had no way of knowing. It's not like, hey, everybody, looks like we're going to be in here for 4 hours. So like the next time, if it ever happens again, you're like, this is probably going to take a few hours. Go ahead, everybody, get your uniforms off. I'll go ahead and wash them. You'll be nice and fresh and clean when you go out there.
Yeah, we got 45 minutes left on the wash cycle, and then
that's when they say, all right, we need to get out there.
We got old white uniforms.
Yeah, everybody comes out wearing different uniforms.
Would not be good.
No.
Do
they have problems with that?
With what?
Changing uniforms, like the officiating crew? Do they have? If you just go out and you say, "Well, we're going to wear these jerseys today."
I don't know what the rule is, but I think what you start the game with is what you have to finish.
Is that right?
I believe that's the case, but I don't know. That's probably not something that's really ever tested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why would you? Why would that ever happen?
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, we're changing uniforms.
You get in the halftime, and you're like, what the problem is here? Everything's working out. X's and O's. We're not winning. Uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody change uniforms.
Yeah, I would have, if nothing else, I would have put them in purple pants. Here, you're wearing, they don't like those.
They don't like the purple pants?
I guess not. Yeah, but yeah, that's why next year we're going to get new black jerseys.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Because those things have seen their time.
The black jerseys.
Yeah, the ones that they want. They love them. They fit right. They're the old 12 ones. And because we're a lower echelon program, not Division I, we don't get the twill anymore. Nike has been very specific about that.
Is that right?
Yeah. So,
there's other companies, I'm just saying.
Well, we're under contract. So it's one of those deals.
Thanks, Coach Littrell.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think that was just Coach Littrell.
Yeah, okay.
It's the entire university.
Well, there you go.
And I'm not going to throw Chad Gassman under the bus because you want to know why?
Why?
Because he made a really good decision this week.
Yeah, he did.
On Monday. So head coach Tyler Chapa is head coach Tyler Chapa. There's no more interim tag on there,
I never even at one time. At once, and then Wednesdays, the Warriors live, and then just head coach.
He's head coach,
yeah.
And he was going to be head coach as far as I was concerned. Come hell or high water.
What was the rationale behind that?
I don't know. That's a decision of the
thing.
administration, and that's perfectly within their purview to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what And again, Coach Gassman does a great job, and he's a monstrous supporter of our football program and all the athletic programs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure he is. Yeah.
But in particular, they removed that interim tag, and now we can. I sent out on X or Twitter. If X has kind of turned into Prince. X, formerly known as Twitter.
It'll be Twitter again.
Yeah, it should be. So anyway, on Twitter, after I saw that news, I tweeted out to Coach Chapa, and I also included the at Zillow.com.
Yeah.
Time to start looking for a house, Coach.
Correct.
Yeah, we need to get him here permanent.
Yeah, well, that's good news, and I guess I never took the interim part seriously, so
No,
I
didn't either.
Really think about it. But it's got to be a relief for him to have that off of his title, just everything. And it's like, okay, you can't. How are you supposed to go out and recruit, and you're the interim guy?
Yeah, if you're sitting across from mom and dad, and they're like, hey,
it says here you're interim.
Yeah, we like you, we like your program, we like everything that you're talking about.
Right?
How do I know you're going to be? Oh, I'll be here next year. Mm-hmm. But how do I know? And for Tyler's sake, he can't say, well, just trust me on this,
right?
Because ultimately that decision comes down to the athletic director and the administration
right.
So, but anyway, I was very thankful that they did that. Again, Coach Gassman, I think that was probably his intent the whole way along. But just trying to make sure that there wasn't anything weird going to happen, and nobody anticipated that, including head coach Chapa, that there was going to be any changes whatsoever. But again, it was a good move. That way, again, it's going to help with recruiting.
Yes.
Because we know that we're going to have our staff here. And so again, they're out there, they're hitting kids up, high school, JUCO, anybody that's interested in transferring. So that was,
it probably came from, I guess, just with Finley leaving, just quick like that. And then Paramore, they just jumped right in on Chase, and then he got his, other opportunity and left, and 3 months later. And it was at that point, Waldorf's, a little jilted lover in that situation where they're like, okay, that's it. Fine. You're going to be, interim, another young coach that we're putting our program in the hands of, and we'll see what happens. But I think you're right. I think that they had confidence. I think they got a little burned. That's a short period of time to go through, go into 3 head coach positions essentially. And so,
4 months, 5 months, something like that. Yeah. And I get it. And like I said, there's no ill will whatsoever. It's just something that they felt like they had to do.
Well, I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah, me too.
But speaking of Finley's, Callie Finley was at the game.
She was her newest member of the family.
Yeah,
absolutely. And
new baby, and I said, is this a bye week? No, they're just traveling.
Yep.
So she came up here, which is fun.
Well, talking about Coach Paramore, he's down at Texas A&M Commerce in Commerce, Texas now, which is a D1 FCS school down there. And they went to Old Dominion, a Division I program. They played them 10-9. They actually had the lead. And like he told me, he goes, man, if we would have hit that field goal in the first half, we would have won that game. So, well, if they all would have been touchdowns, you would have won too.
Right,
so
right.
What does that matter?
Yeah.
So they won they lost 10-9 to a Division I FBS program. So, kudos for him. They're hopefully turning that program around a little bit. They've played some really good teams. And I stay in contact with all of our coaches, former and obviously our current coaches, but you develop those relationships. So we just hope nothing but the best for Coach Finley down there at Lindenwood, and Callie was supporting the Lindenwood, she and her young son.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. She said she got rid of all her Waldorf stuff. She's only got a couple shirts.
That's right. She said that she's all out.
You know how many T-shirts I got in the locker room? I could have went and grabbed her a couple.
Yeah, we probably could help out.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah.
The kids outgrew them. That was the...
Yeah.
That's probably true. I mean, kids grow fast.
Yep. And I'm trying to think if Lincoln was up here, because I know Barrett was up here with her, and then along with the newest edition, and I can't remember his name, and I feel really terrible right now. Yeah.
You're not talking to the wrong guy, like names.
Yeah. Well, and they got to reconnect with old friends. You know. Forest City has a tendency to grow on people, and I'd love to see a lot of our former coaches, come back for a game on their bye weeks and things like that. I don't know if that's kind of like when a pastor leaves the church, he doesn't come back to visit. If it's the same deal as that, where like once I'm gone, I need to be gone, because it's, I don't want to interfere. I don't want to be a distraction to the kids or anything like that. But
I hope not.
I hope not too, because I'd love to see those guys, and we'll see them again. Obviously, I know that. Those coaches, they get to see each other over the winter at the AFCA convention. They all get together and talk ideas and go to workshops and, maybe have a couple libations.
Yeah, so they all see each other. I suppose that is sort of similar with a church. Maybe there's people in a church, and maybe there's people in the stands or the tailgate area that, one coach leaves and comes back a year or two later and just to say hello and see a game in a bye week or whatever, and then runs into the people that they interacted with for years or whatever it was, and then they're like, gosh, coach, it really would be great to have you back here. Things are really not what they, and all that. And it's like, things are going good. And that's probably why sometimes pastors don't want to come, you know what I mean? And maybe that's why coaches are like, look, this is their program, and I never want to get in, in a situation where people, it'd be funny if because certainly, I'm not naming any names at all, but like there's probably coaches where no one would ever say that anyway. Like if they came back and visit and be like, aren't they doing great now? Gosh, remember when you were here? Whew, we were stinking it up,
We've gotten so much better since you left.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had the luxury of starting with Coach Littrell, and it'd be great to see Josh. Yeah. But again, let's be honest, 'tis the season. So those guys, they're
busy right now.
I mean, they might have a bye week just like our coaches. Yeah. And it's business.
They're still working.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's not like, hey, you guys take the week off, do whatever you'd like to do. Maybe get a little golfing in, something like that.
Yeah, and everybody just takes the bye week off, like literally do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
That team doesn't practice. It's nothing. That's just like, we just go. Listen, we're going to play this square just like every other game. We're going to give ourselves a few days to practice.
That's right. We're going to give these other guys a chance because it doesn't seem right to have 13 days of preparation instead of 6.
That's right. Yeah, because I'm sure that's what Dickinson did because they had their bye week.
Oh, absolutely. They sat around playing video games.
If they didn't have those extra days, there's no possible way.
Absolutely.
So now when we see them in November, there you go.
Yeah.
And
that's
so
on our bye week.
Who are we preparing for?
Well, we're looking at Valley City State. Mm-hmm. They're going to be coming to town for our homecoming game on I believe that's October 7th.
Yeah.
That's the next time that we take Bullstorf Field. And again, you can never look past a team like Valley, but I don't think they have the guns that they had before. But Valley always comes in here and plays us tough. That's just that's the reality, and they play us tough up there. But we also give it back. And I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of studs on our team on both sides. We've got some things to correct, but that's the nature of the game. And as we get in a little bit further, the kids are going to be able to watch more film. They're going to be able to dig a little bit deeper. And that's really what it's about, and the coaches will get the tendencies, they'll get the game plan, and, they'll stick with it, and we'll get that secure for hopefully a homecoming victory.
And you said that Valley City just barely escaped Mayville.
Yeah. 2 overtimes, 27-23.
Yeah.
And
we had our record-setting game against Mayville.
We did up there
at their house during their homecoming.
Yeah, we ruined their homecoming, and I'm sure Valley's going to want to come in here and ruin ours. that's just kind of the nature.
I'm pretty sure Valley City is the one that wanted to fight my brother-in-law. I think that he was playing like maybe
he was playing the hokey pokey, and that was
Hokey
Dickinson
Pokey.
State.
Was it Dickinson?
It was Dickinson State.
I thought he did something to Valley City.
No,
too.
Well, I'm sure he probably did. I mean, knowing Reed, but the reality is, what he did is that he played the hokey pokey as they come walking out of there, to take the field.
Yeah,
and they didn't appreciate it,
right,
whatsoever. And Waldorf had the lead, and Dickinson came back and beat us late.
Yeah,
and so I guess one of the kids from Dickinson said, "Hey, play that song again," and they're all out in the field doing the hokey pokey.
Yeah,
which just kind of rubbed it in.
Yeah, well, good.
Well, he earned it.
He did earn it.
Reed earned that.
Yeah, he earned that too.
And you reap what you sow, my friend.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad to. I'm looking forward to homecoming and all of the festivities that go with that week. I think that it's a little different. Homecoming for college is just it's all so much fun, and it is so at a different level than say like high school homecoming or whatnot. But I think that the difference for homecoming for the players is that I think high school activities are distracting to football players. And then I don't think that the activities that surround an actual homecoming where alumni come back to college and visit and are in attendance at the game and they have the reunions and all of that stuff, that doesn't affect the players at all. I mean, there's so little that goes into distraction on that week.
Nope. And again, there is activities, with homecoming week coming up here this next week. And I've got some classmates coming back. Looking forward to seeing them. Obviously, I don't get to spend much time with them because I'm busy Friday night. I think we kick at 1 or 2 o'clock. I'm not 100% sure when we kick on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check here for you.
It doesn't matter a whole lot.
Yeah, it's a couple weeks away. We'll have another show before we get to it, but
yeah, for sure. And we'll actually have a guest this time, so you guys just don't have to listen to this, blathering.
Some people say they like it. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I just made that up. I'm just hopeful that somebody wanted to say, I just like when you guys talk. 1 p.m. is the kickoff at Waldorf Field against Valley City for homecoming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good to have, and there's always, again, that brings more people in and, it's more exposure to the program. Let's be honest, folks like my age and even getting some folks your age, maybe some of your classmates are going to come back with their high school age sons that are thinking about maybe playing football, and let's put on a show. Let's give the Vikings a beat down.
Well, it's definitely possible, and I don't know who's coming back. I guess it's about a 30-year class reunion, not for me, but for a class or so before me. So for the first time, I went to Waldorf.
It's been, let's see, it was 23, so it's been 33 years since I graduated from the WU. And and hey, another little announcement here. We just started in the works this week. We're going to be working with Threads from Algona, so stay tuned to our Facebook page and any of our social media, and hopefully soon our website, that we're going to be offering a gridiron store. So you can get, I think right now we're going to start simple and then maybe work up to something a little more advanced, but we're looking at probably long sleeve and short sleeve t-shirts, hopefully a choice of 3 different colors. It's just going to have our Waldorf Gridiron Club logo on the front.
Yep.
And underneath that, it would say Woo Ball.
Yep.
We got to run with the Woo Ball.
Woo Ball, I agree.
And then, of course, Troy, do you know what it would say on the back of
I do.
Said? What do you think that would say?
Best small college football experience in America.
That's right. We can't use it with those dulcimer tones like Troy's got, but the reality is when you read
a special font for that.
I think there must be, but everybody that sees it, that's how they're going to hear it.
Yeah.
When they read it in their mind, the best small college football experience in America.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about last week on the Warriors Live show that you got out of, by the way, because I wouldn't have been able to host it this week
isn't
anyway.
that a shame?
And it's like, there's not a show on bye week. And I'm like, really? Well, I guess I planned that perfectly.
Well, and I was talking to Coach Chapa.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Sunday or even yet on Saturday during the delay. And I said something about, well, I'm doing the show on Wednesday. Carl's already asked me to do it. And he's like, there's a show on Wednesday? I said, no, wait a minute. I said, can we make this not happen? And he's like, yeah, we never do one on the bye week. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, nice.
And so Carl called me, and coach, I told Coach, you run with this. He was like, we're going to be recruiting anyway.
Yeah.
Like, that's perfect. Thank you.
Well, last week on the Warriors live show, we did mention that we were in the farewell tour of because that announcement had come out that we were heading to the GPAC, and so we could do a cool concert T-shirt of the NSAA farewell tour. But after conversing with people that are in the know, it might be everyone's NSAA farewell tour this year.
Well, and I have heard, and I've not heard confirmation, but I heard Dickinson has joined the Frontier Conference.
Which is, that's a interesting.
Wow.
They're going to go play in places like Arizona and
Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Montana schools. It's a huge, geographically, it's a huge conference. And yeah, could you imagine, like, I can't imagine they're going to be taking buses to Oregon or Arizona. I don't know
either. Good
not my problem, because we don't have.
That's not my problem.
Yeah. We don't have that problem. We're going to be able to bring our Warrior fans.
Matter of fact, we're going to downscale our buses. We're going to get even smaller.
That's right.
And we're going to get worse. No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, still can't get it started. Pump the gas.
Remember that? Do we still have, does Walder still have that big old
white
thing that they have?
No, they probably do somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they'll use it for campus tours someday. Ladies and gentlemen, on our left is Salvation Hall.
Yeah, because you needed that. That's funny. Well, I would hope that, wish them well. I mean, I can't think of any reason that you'd want to fly all over the country to play all of these teams like that. Certainly wouldn't want to drive to some of those places. No. We're going to have the advantage. Anyway, I guess the point was I don't know if it would be a cool shirt, but it would be
the last one you'd ever make.
It'd be the last one. And the truth is that it might very well be it's still funny. I mean, it'd be cool if it was ready for, if we did something like that. And if these were ready for, homecoming, I don't know how fast their turnaround is. I do like threads. That was a good recommendation for us. And I think that what's great about them is that you just, we give you the link, you go look at the stuff, and you do the order, and then you can
you order, pay, and they ship it right to you. And we're going to try to move fast on that, just so that we can have some gear before.
And they have good stuff. Yeah,
they have stuff. Yeah, and we're gonna, again, sweatshirts and T-shirts and stuff like that. Eventually, we'll try to get into quarter zips and some. I told them, let's look at maybe some knit winter caps and maybe even some baseball style hats or something like that. So again, I don't know what's going to happen. I told them just create.
A little way for the people of the gridiron, the tailgaters, the Gridiron Club members, all of us that make this show go in that way, to kind of identify ourselves. And
I can't wait. I'm gonna be spending some cash over there and getting me some woo ball stuff.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll see that gear all over the tailgate and in the stands and everything else. And not just piled up somewhere in somebody's corner.
Right,
but that could happen too.
Well, the advantage is too is that they're making it for you and sending it to you.
Yeah,
we're not holding any in stock. So like if you're coming up at a tailgate and be like, hey, I want to get one of those sweatshirts. Where can I get one? I'm like, well, you go to the link, you order it, you get your size, they send it to you, and that's how you get it. Because. Otherwise, I've been on, groups and organizations where they're like, let's get a whole stockpile of stuff and then we'll sell it all. And it's like, you never do. And
you always end up with a bunch of triple X's and a bunch of smalls.
Yeah. So this is a very green way of doing this.
For sure. And we may in the future look at like maybe, having a limited release, cool T-shirt for like, say, homecoming or community night or something like that. That's Gridiron Club oriented. But I do want to double back real quick.
Okay.
When we were talking about the North Star, which just a couple of minutes ago. The day that we made the announcement, I was on vacation.
You were.
I was sitting in a fishing boat.
And you were close to having that mustache on a good start.
Oh, yeah, I got it. But again, my wife, for those of you that know my beautiful bride, she says it looks really good, but don't get near me. So there's but again, I'm sticking to my, if we can get $10,000 in donations before the end of the football season, next year you will see the full-on handlebar mustache.
Oh yeah,
with big old blistery teardrops coming down. A lot of gray in it now. A lot more gray. Yeah, but that's just.
Oh, I hope that happens. That's
I do too.
And then that'll be your thing. And then people, and then you're in the future decades that your bronze statue at Waldorf Field.
Oh, yeah.
It will be with the. He was like, God, that was a great mustache. And I was like, he didn't even want to rip.
Yeah. Quite often what I'll do is that if I'm sending, like, somebody say, hey, can you send me a picture of that? Because I'll like, hey, I'm going to go take a picture of this,
Yeah.
Something like, like Coach Chapa was saying, hey, would you send that to me? I was sending him like a picture of like a uniform or something like that needed some work, and just kind of showing him some damage or whatever it was. And so I'd send him a picture of that. And I always send a picture of me with that mustache.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's that for? I think everybody should have to see that from time to time.
So you were on vacation.
Yeah, I was on vacation. So
they made the announcement.
They made the announcement.
And then
I was thrilled to death. I think my first action was to start going to all the North Star sites to see if they're, and just trying to see if they were like free, because they had to have been freaking out.
Yeah.
Maybe Dickinson already had the Frontier gig worked out. But like, could you imagine being one of those other schools like, they what? Waldorf's leaving? And of course Waldorf's going to leave. If we had the opportunity to go to a premier conference like the GPAC, why would you not?
Right. And it's closer to home.
And the North Star's been good to us.
Yes.
But this is the GPAC. A lot of quality institutions that we match up with on our core values. And I'm not saying it, but let's be honest, as far as football wise goes, we're playing against 4 state schools.
That's right.
So when you're competing for the same athlete and a state school that has tuition that's a lot more competitive as a state school, and any state schools like that.
Yeah. Because it's subsidized by taxpayers.
Yeah.
If I've always, when I was recruiting, I was explaining this because I was connected to Waldorf for a long time.
Yeah.
And then people are like, well, I got to go to a state school. That's right. I don't know why these private schools charge so much. I'm like, what's funny is that these private schools charge less than what you're subsidizing with your taxes through these state schools. If they had to charge their own without any state benefits, they'd be way more than the private schools.
Oh, yeah.
Because their benefits and all of the stuff that they have to pay that are subsidized by the taxpayers are over the top.
True. Well, come to Waldorf, Harvard of North Central Iowa.
Right. Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not.
Can't be.
I mean, North Central Iowa, those other schools around here.
Yeah, we got them beat hands down.
Right on.
And obviously we love Waldorf, and Troy and I are both proud alums.
Yeah, we are biased and proud of it.
Yeah, we are homers, if nothing else. And we want nothing but the best for Waldorf University and our athletic program, and particularly our football team.
Yeah.
And now with head coach Tyler Chapa at the helm and great staff underneath him.
Sans interim. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we got nothing but upside, so.
Yeah. So if you think that, I just want to give a shout out to, before we do the shout out, did they say anything?
No, I didn't see anything.
Nothing?
I was really hoping
to
do the old, all right, folks, Waldorf's leaving.
Yeah.
We are going to have an emergency meeting.
Yeah.
And Dickinson and Valley will tell Dakota and Mayville what we're going to do.
No public.
No, there was no
public.
I was really hoping for a freak out. Like, really, man?
Come on, man.
You leaving us? Come on, man. We've been good to you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they've been good to us. But the reality is that we're going someplace that we really fit. I mean, we fit with all the dynamics. We fit with the same structures.
Makes me feel like singing Little John Denver, Country Road. Take me home to a place
almost heaven.
I belong.
Yep.
But not West Virginia. We'll just stay right here in Iowa.
Oh, yeah. North Central Iowa.
We got to figure out how to work that out into the
we're gonna have
rhythm, but
we're gonna have to get a guitar and recreate.
Get my harmonica out.
Oh yeah, I did. You
should learn how to play it.
Played that a few episodes ago, and I still it haunts my.
Yeah,
dreams.
it should. Yeah,
yeah.
I once drew in a beach crane, like a bird in Alabama, playing that harmonica. I got it for Christmas. Went down there for spring break with the family one time, and I was trying to learn how to play, and I was not doing very well, but I was kind of whatever, and that drew in a crane, like that, kind of listening to my song.
How'd it taste?
I mean, didn't get close enough.
Oh, I didn't know if maybe you grabbed her around the neck.
Didn't come right up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Run back
I don't
to the
think they'd
hotel
be very
throw it on a hot plate with some butter and garlic. I don't think it'd be very good either.
Grains, yeah.
It tastes like.
I do want to give a shout out now that I come back around to that. Is that Ashley Davison at the Chamber of Commerce in Forest City, and Juliana Burkholder. A big shout out to Julie too. But Ashley, she's been just very dogged about getting our digital program done for us every week. And if you haven't seen that, I mean, we send it out to, so it works like this. We have an email list from the people that participated in the cash prize where the ball lies contest.
Yep.
And that's if you want us to send us stuff like that, you have to send us your email.
Yep.
And that's something that we'll continue to work on and get better, because a lot of times people just don't know the information that's out there.
Yep.
Either from this, they might listen to it a week later or whatever it happens to be. But she makes this digital program for us every single week that we're at home. And it is sweet because it's got all of the things you'd expect in a program, the player photos, you've got the two deeps, so for both teams, that way you know who's starting, who's right behind them. You've got all the information on the officials, you got the information on Bolstor Field, you got all kinds of good stuff in there, and it's just all on your phone, which is sweet.
And
so
she's done a fantastic job.
Yeah,
every week that we have that home game, she does such an amazing job. And huge shout out and kudos to Ashley and Julie, just their commitment to this program and because they're committed to the community as well.
Right.
And this is such a great thing. So folks, if you're listening to this for whatever reason,
right.
And you're not planning on coming, we've got 2 more opportunities for you to come and experience what this thing is like, because you can go to Iowa State, you can go to Iowa, you can go to Minnesota. I don't know why you would, but let's say you did.
Yeah, right. Wrong turn.
Yeah, exactly. Oops, I was looking for.
Hey, good fishing.
Yeah, that's true. But the reality is, come on down, because whatever it cost you to go to the high school game on Friday night, it's about the same price of what it cost you to get into Bolstor Field if you want to go. But come down early and have some fun in the tailgate, get to know people, talk to folks, set up your tent, get your chairs out, your tables, your cooking appliances. You can plug in whatever you bring if you need to. And man, it's a great time.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And just think now, we had 6 inches of rain and an almost 4-hour delay at halftime. And if you had one of those printed programs, it'd be sopping wet and you wouldn't know what was going on. But if you had it on your phone from the Gridiron Club.
But you can hold a program over your head and your hair wouldn't get messed up. Yeah,
but I mean, really, come on. Well, that doesn't affect me anyway.
No, me either. I had my raincoat with me, and I'd never had a chance to wear it. On Saturday, because we were inside, and then it's like when we came out, there was a couple little drops, and then the sun came out.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got to finish the game.
We did.
Yep.
And we are off to our next one, and the next one is going to be fun. It's always fun at homecoming.
Oh.
And, it's good to have a little break, 2 weeks to prepare for it, like we've already talked about. There's just so many people that make the Gridiron Club what it is. But, the truth is we're a little behind on our giving this year, and it'd be good for folks to reach into their wallets, send us a check, get it to P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa, 50436. Help us out. We're doing things, look, we could have $0 and Andy and I would still be doing what we do to support the program and take care of things. And we do have funds that help do things that, that we are continuing to do. But we are always trying to do more and more and more. And that just gives our players a better experience. It allows us to do more. And like we've talked in other episodes, it helps free up some things for other programs in that process. So, we're just, we're always looking for donors, and no time like the present. Homecoming's coming up.
It's
right. It's a great time to join the Gridiron Club and be a part of the best small college football experience in America.
Absolutely. And it's tax deductible.
Yeah, that's important.
501c3 here, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, Troy, I don't think we got anything else that we really need to talk about, is there?
No, I don't think so. We'll hit it again next week, though, and we'll have a guest.
That's right. Next week, we'll have a guest, folks. So, hey, want to thank everybody so much for joining us and taking a few minutes out of your day to sit back and listen to Troy and I talk Waldorf football, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, Yeah, it was a great time. Looking forward to Valley City State on October 7th. Make sure you get here. It's a 1 o'clock kick. That's going to mean a 10:30 Warrior Walk. So get here at 9 o'clock. Get your tailgate all set up, ready to go. Get your food going. Make sure your coolers are full of ice, and it's going to be a wonderful day. So for Troy Thompson, this is Andy Buffington. Thank you so much for listening to the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast, and forever and always, go Warriors. You can join the Waldorf Gridiron Club and be part of the best small college football experience in America.
Just visit our website and pick your membership level. Find us and everything Waldorf Gridiron Club related, including professional photos, at waldorfgridironclub.org.
You can also click on the Support the Show link in the show notes to donate.
And you can even use the United States Postal Service by sending your check to the Waldorf Gridiron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa, 50436.
It's tax exempt, hassle-free, and has a level for every budget.
That's right. Anyone can join, even our rivals.
Show your colors. Join the Gridiron Club today.
Get it?
Got it. Fantastic.
The Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast is hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson. Produced by Sunnyside Farm Studios in beautiful rural Forest City, Iowa. Platformed by Buzzsprout and music by Soundstripe. The Waldorf Gridiron Club is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to the student athletes of the Waldorf University football program. Our mission is to assist the program in maintaining the best small college football experience in America.